So it's true, I'm from Blood Red, Tennessee, and I often joke here on the channel and say that I am in the buckle of the Bible Belt. It truly is red where I'm at. And whenever I'm traveling around this country, people will ask me, what's it like to be from Tennessee, man? How red is it out there? And I'll always say, well, we're blood red here. And I do believe that my state is the one that they tried Project 2025 out on first. I've often said we laid the blueprint for it. If you wanted to know what it was all about, all you had to do was look no further than Bill Lee and Cameron Sexton, and you'd get a really good glimpse of what it was going to be like. But I've also always followed up by saying, but there are a whole lot more reasonable people here in Tennessee than one would ever realize. The Republicans do have the stronghold. They absolutely do. But there are way more reasonable people. There are way more blue dots than one would ever imagine. A lot of them will message me to say, I can't necessarily say this out loud, but I agree with you. And I understand why in certain cases they can't say it out loud. But I just want everyone to know that Tennessee is not full of all MAGA lunatics. There is some really good, decent, hardworking people here who have seen enough and had enough. There's also a lot of people here with buyer's remorse. There's a lot of people here that are starting to wake up and look around. And what the Republicans want to do is they want to keep this stronghold on Tennessee so that everyone just automatically writes us off as, well, they're a red state, don't bother going there. And I want to talk more on that later. But first, we're going to talk about this story out of Knox County, which is just right down the road from me, kind of my home away from home. They're going to be having some town halls that are going to be Republican only. Because, yeah, heaven forbid they ever stood across from someone who disagreed with them. Heaven forbid they had to actually face their voters and explain why things weren't getting better. So, yeah, the party that has screamed that they have been excluded for so long and no one's ever heard my voice is now saying, we're not going to hear you out unless you agree with us 100%. Republican only town halls, because they don't want more of what they've been getting lately, which is people showing up pissed. So I'm going to read you this article here from Channel 10 News. Knox County Republican Party to host Republicans only town hall event inviting elected Republican lawmakers. The event organizer said it is a private event, but would not elaborate on why non-Republicans are not invited. Oh, gee, I wonder why. So here we go. The Knox County Republican Party is hosting a town hall next week, but only Republicans are allowed to attend. The Knox County Republican Party chair and town hall organizer Martin Daniel told 10 News in a statement, "This is a private event. It is not open to the public. If you wish to schedule and organize your event, I encourage you to do that." So in other words, you go have your event somewhere else, but don't come and ask us why things aren't going your way. Don't make us face the music. These people are such cowards. Representative Jason Zachary from Knoxville said lawmakers were not involved in the details of the event. He said, "I am thankful that the Knox County GOP is hosting a town hall for Republicans in our community. I speak to many groups at their invitation. The organizing entity sets the rules at their discretion. The Knox County GOP is no different. We are legislators. We're not involved in the details of the upcoming town hall. These decisions rested with the party leadership." So, editor's note, an earlier version of this story said that Representative Zachary was thankful the event was limited to Republicans. We have included his full quote to clarify his position. Now, I applaud them for that. Because we all know if the roles was reversed, he wouldn't never include someone's full statement. He would just cherry pick what he wanted to out of it. But Republican state senators Becky Massey and Richard Briggs said they attend events they are invited to without looking into whether they are open or closed. Briggs said there are several reasons why organizers would decide to hold a private town hall. I would guess there have been a lot of disruptions where there have been these town hall meetings across the country. It's not just here or somewhere else. And usually the disruptions are not over issues that either at the city government, the county government, or the state government that we can do anything about. So yeah, we can't do nothing about this. A lot of the arguments they're bringing, we can't do nothing about this. That is I don't know if it exists in other parts of the country. That is a classic Tennessee and Kentucky move because I grew up on the state line. That's a classic move. Well, that's not we can't do nothing about that. It's not us. I mean, they will literally come out and tell you that they're going to fix all your problems. And then when you call them, well, no, that's not us, buddy. We can't help you there. We're not in charge of that. So he said he believes that, Briggs does, that these situations take away from town halls, from what town halls are intended for. It does not allow us that are either involved in the local government or the state government to have an opportunity to talk to the public and listen to them. It's not all of us talking, but to listen to what their concerns are. Now it goes on to say, a future event where everyone is invited is something he hopes to see, but he said he doesn't think it's possible. I think it's very unfortunate because whether you're a Democrat or Republican, most of us feel that we're here to serve the citizens of whatever district we represent. I wish we could have everyone that would wanted to come. I wish the people would be more civil. I wish politicians would be statesmen and not entertainers. Wow, I agree with him on that one. But that's just not the world we live in today, unfortunately. This is such a cop-out bullshit statement. It truly is. But we'll keep reading. So Democratic Representative Sam McKenzie from Knoxville said town halls are not supposed to be closed to anyone. Now, this was a Democrat said this, obviously. This is a total misnomer to call this a town hall meeting where I'm not invited, where a lot of my constituents aren't invited, where a lot of their constituents aren't invited. It makes absolutely no sense, McKenzie said. And our good friend, then it says, that's why he and our good friend Representative Gloria Johnson from Knoxville are hosting their own town hall. No date has been set yet for it, but they said that it would be open to everyone. And folks, I have had Gloria Johnson here on the channel several times, and I've had the opportunity to meet her and talk with her. She's someone who will sit and listen to anyone, talk with anyone, hear anyone out, explain why that we have the better ideas, explain why that our ideas are actually more popular, but Republicans haven't figured that out yet, or at least the ones in our part of the world just haven't caught on to that. But yeah, so they go on. McKenzie goes on to say it becomes an echo chamber when they become a supermajority. They think everybody thinks like them. You feel that you're not even accountable to your own constituency. Now, the Republican Town Hall is scheduled for Wednesday, May 14th at 5:30 p.m. at the Bearden Banquet Hall. While it is Republican only, Briggs said he is unsure how that requirement will be vetted. That was going through my mind too. It's like, okay, so how are we going to fully know? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But folks, the truth of the matter is, what this basically boils down to is they don't want to face the music. That's just it. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of reasonable people here. There's a lot of blue dots. They don't want them showing up. There's also a lot of people with buyer's remorse starting to wake up to the fact that, hey, guess what? The eggs ain't cheaper. Hey, guess what? I really don't like this idea of sending people to El Salvador and not having due process. There are a lot of people waking up because we've been having these rolling roadblocks here in Tennessee where people are just being arrested and pulled out of their vehicles and sent away with and it's ridiculous. And a lot of people are going to stand up to that. And a lot of people are going to say, hey, we voted for you to do this. And these Republicans here in Tennessee can scream all day, well, that's not my department. That wasn't me. I ain't the one that promised you that. I won't bust his balls or say his name, but there was a local politician back home who did that to me and my family. Came around, told us exactly how they were going to fix it all. We'll fix this road up, buddy. You shouldn't be driving on a road like that. I mean, them tree limbs hanging across it the way they are and all them potholes, this is a disgrace. I tell you what, you vote for me, you get me in there, and I'll be right here to fix it for you. So my dad and my mom did. They went down and cast their vote for the dude. Waited a couple of weeks, called him back. He said, who are you? They said, you talked to us. You came to, I ain't in charge of that. That's not on me. You'll have to call somebody else on that one. That's the kind of world we live in. Politicians are absolutely full of shit. But at least the Democratic politicians here in Tennessee will face the music and let their constituents speak. And I promise you, if there was such a thing, if Gloria Johnson was to suddenly just hold a Democrat-only town hall, let's say she just flipped the bird and said, screw the Republicans, ain't none of you allowed in here, and say she just put a big sign on the front door, screw y'all, I guarantee you they would be outside beating on the door. They would absolutely lose their mind. But now we got to keep the disruptors out. Something else they believe that anyone that comes there to oppose them, they believe they're being paid to do so. They believe they're paid influencers, they're paid agitators, they're just paid to disrupt. And that's because they want to continue to paint the image that Tennessee is blood red and could never be anything else. But I'm telling you, folks, it can be. The more people that start speaking up, And the more people that has buyer's remorse, we do have a chance. I'm not saying we're going to turn full-blown blue anytime soon, but I do believe that we could start to see Tennessee turn purple if more people would speak out. And the other day I had a friend ask me, so, how can I speak out when I'm kind of in a position where I can't? With the work that I do, I really can't post a lot of stuff on social media because I'd get called to the office and I'd probably get sent home. Now, the other people at work post this pro-Trump shit all day, but I shared one link and got called in and told to take it down. So what can I do? And to those people, I would say this. You can pass that along to other like-minded people, or you can pass it along to people that it's going to affect. And you can pass this video along to them if you want to, whether they agree with me or not. Hi, good to meet you. I'm so-and-so's friend, and I'm trying to bring awareness to the issues at hand. I don't want to be your enemy. I don't want to be against you. I would like for us to all be able to get along, live and let live, regardless of who you are or what you believe in. But there's a lot of bullshit going on in this country right now, and a lot of us are sick and tired of it. And so we're going to continue to stand up against it, and we're going to continue to speak up. And again, if you can't be the one that speaks out or necessarily makes the YouTube videos or shares the stuff on social media, you can still have conversations. You can still send you can still raise awareness in your own circle and broaden that circle. And then if enough of us starts to speak out and gets loud enough, you'll see the script start to flip. And let them go out and have their little Republican on the town hall. Let them sit there and shout into their echo chamber. Let them have it. And then show up on election day. At the moment, they can't keep you out of there. They're trying really hard. And I'm going to be doing a video later on talking about how that we all need to make sure that our voter IDs are all up to par. I'm going to be talking more about how we need to make sure that we've got all of our ducks in a row so that we can vote when the time comes. But they might not let you into the town hall, but get in that voting booth and vote their asses out. Because there are good people here in Tennessee, and I'm so sick and tired of the worst, the Dollar General hillbilly Trumps. I'm so tired of seeing them represent us. There's good people out there that are representing us. There's good people out there that are speaking up, and we're not going to be silenced anymore. We're going to keep putting in the work, and we're going to let people know that there's not everybody in Tennessee is a jerk. Not everybody is Bill Lee, okay? Not everybody's that guy. There's some good people here, and I just want everyone to know that.